All right, guys, let's jump into our first topic. We're going to get to the waitlist stuff. It's actually probably third on our docket, but we got to talk about these releases first. Optical. This suit, bro. This suit is really, really nice, man. And for any Spider-Man fan out there, Optical, I think this has got to be the one where you consider like, damn,
Yeah.
this thing is just amazing, right? $345, or like you said, Optical, we were talking about this earlier, with the collector's edition, if you get the non-snow base, just the regular base, $280. Dude, Hot Toys, we really cannot, I mean, as far as we've been conditioned a little bit with these prices, but we really cannot complain with $280. Like, and you know, most people, Optical, when you look at this, do they really need the snow base? Because that base is still pretty damn cool. It's not a diorama base. I know you're the diorama king, but Optical, I wanted to ask you, is this the number one Spider-Man to get? I know that's going to be subjected to everyone, but just across the board, I'm kind of thinking it might be. What do you think?
Yeah, dude, it is. It's up there, if not the Spider-Man right now. I feel we've all marveled at at the last scene, and we were speculating back then. Oh, it's gonna be a summer exclusive, and we would have been happy without the head sculpt, right? Because that's a summer exclusive. You get this amazing suit with the regular webs and all that stuff. Tag the summer promo edition to it, price it at 260, 275. It would sell because of how it looks. The fact that they made it 280 in 2023. I'm putting 2023. I know.
It might as well. I mean, yeah. Pretty much that.
With a head sculpt that is arguably the best Tom Holland head sculpt to date, with a purse at 280. Man, not Sideshow. Hot Toys lost their goddamn mind.
They said, wait for this, bitches. And they just dropped it on us.
Oh, so we're slacking, huh? Here you go.
Yeah, right. Oh, so you like in art.
So you like in art? Here you go. 280.
Yep.
The most surprising to me is the 280, the price point.
Yeah,
because
me too.
Bo-Katan is what, like 285?
285. Yeah, she came with like a railing base, but that's it.
Yeah. I mean, this one, you can change the eyes, presumably. You could, right?
Yep,
I mean,
you could.
Just the normal Spider-Man. You got a second head sculpt like Bo, but this one has purse, which is, we all know, normally, typically you'd see it on DX. But now we've seen 3 figures that are not DX that has that with a pretty good price. Surprising. And you see this, it was like a lot of people are going to be like, well, that's what InArt does to you, right? That's what InArt. Well, I got a news flash. InArt does not have Star Wars or Marvel. So don't. Hot Toys could have easily released this without a head sculpt, and you have no choice. It's not like InArt can make them. It's not like, hey, you seen that InArt Anakin by InArt? That's awesome. It has purse. No, they can't. So Hot Toys didn't have to do this. They didn't have to. Was InArt a factor? Maybe. I don't know. That's probably another topic for another day. But I feel like there's a lot of factors why we're seeing this. I have my own theory, but we'll see. But boy, I'm happy. 280. You don't need the base for the base for almost what, $60? $65. Yeah. It's not from the looks of it, it's not a huge base. Maybe it is. I don't know. But the good thing is, because a lot of people, I've seen them complaining on Facebook too. Oh my goodness. If you only have an option not to pick up the exclusive diorama base. Oh, you do. Yes. So you do.
You do. And it's 280.
It's 280. Oh, you don't have to pay 345. Yeah, you could. You don't need the base. If you just want the figure. But to answer the question, yes, number one Spider-Man, in my opinion, right now, suit looks classic, best head sculpt, and you have the option to get the base or not. I mean, let's be honest, we don't need the backpack or whatever it is that's included in a normal Spider-Man release.
No.
This is the way to go. This is the way to go, man.
Bro, Optical. We also got to talk about the neck, right? Because the neck is it just looks better. It just looks like more seamless, right? And that's always what we ask for. Like, it just looks, and Sideshow only lets me zoom in so much. Like, if I try to zoom in, it actually zooms out. So, so it just doesn't really let me go in too much. But nonetheless, like, it looks great, man. This figure is really well done. And I love the material on the suit. It looks just like super high end. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like not even a Stark suit. This is something that he made at the end of the film. Like, this is, dude, this is a very, very exciting figure. Optical. I remember when I went to go see the film that night, and I think you and I talked maybe on PlayStation or something, and I was like, dude, I'm just telling you. Because Optical doesn't care about spoilers. So I was like, I'm just telling you. There is a scene at the end of this film where you see a new suit, and it is sick as fuck. And I was like, it's amazing. You're going to want it. I'm going to want it. We're all going to want it. This is really dope, man. Optical, this is funny because I think this is like the one time where I'm like, I don't care about the deluxe. Like, because when I look at this and I look at the base optical, it doesn't take up too much real estate, but it does seem a little like excessive. Like, do I really want to dedicate that much space to this? Because, and also you look at it, the pole connects this way, right? So you got to put him in the flight pose, because I don't really want to put him in a flight pose, because we know long term when you put that clamp on them for a long period of time, it can be problematic for the suit material, the fabric, right?
Yeah,
So I want to get somehow some sort of crotch grabber or something just with a regular base that I can use, so I can do this. Because I'd probably just spend the 280 and get the regular one, because I just don't think this base is like, it's an iconic moment, but I don't know if you really need the base to pull that off. I mean, I guess you could put him in a sitting on top of the chimney pose like they have here, but if you want him standing on that base, that's pretty narrow. That might be difficult without the stand. So you
yeah.
might put him in a flying pose.
Dude, and I always advocate this because I understand why there is. I think of the standard edition, they have the regular base, obviously, but it's also a dynamic stand, right?
Right.
The pole. With this suit, I mean, we all know you leave it there for a long time. I mean, it's gonna ruin the suit.
Yep.
For the love of God, Hot Toys, can you give us a crotch grabber?
I
You
know.
like,
Give us
you know,
both.
movable. Like it's something. We can't. Not long term. And I've seen, dude. I looked at Facebook, and I know there's going to be there's always complaints. 280 with there's complaints. So one guy complained, was like, "Well, the hands are plastic. They're not the same material as the suit." I was like, "Dude, you want the hands to be fabric?" Like,
You're gonna rip it probably.
when did that happen?
Yeah.
I can see the complaints now on the neck. We're talking about the neck where it's one piece, right? So you remove it by the collar section. So you got to put it the right way where it should line up. And there's going to be like lazy asses out there, but like, well, it doesn't line up all the time. It's like, well, dude, just take the time to do that. Because there's separation. It's the different joint with the head with the neck, right? Like you can move the head separately, but I love this neck. Now he doesn't look like he wears a turtleneck all the way up to his jawline, like what we have now. I thought they're gonna do the Miles Morales route where you include like a sleeve in here. I thought that was the easiest solution, because that's how Miles Morales is. There's like a sleeve where you include, so it doesn't show. But hey, I like what they did here. I think it's amazing. There's so much only you can do with that wrist peg. We're gonna talk about that with Wenwu too. But I love it, man. I love everything about this release. You can't complain.
No, you really can't.
The purse, the price, the option to get the deluxe or non-deluxe. I mean, you just can't.
Yeah. And like I said, you have options for the people out there that do want the base. Absolutely. I mean, go for it. Just for me, I'm not sure that I feel I need the base, that I want to dedicate that much space. Like if it were a diorama base that I feel like were really integral to the scene and to this character specifically, then I'd be like, all right, go for it. Yeah, it was winter. It was kind of cool, but it's really a chimney with some snow. I mean, it's not a bad base. It's good, but it's just, do I need that for $60? I almost feel like I'd rather just get the simplistic base, take up less space, and have an amazing suit. Optical, the question would be though, since we're saying this is the number one Spider-Man, how many Tom Hollands do you really need? That's going to vary by the person. But for me, I think one, maybe two, right? So I'm going to say that overall, I have the tech suit version, which is probably, it's my favorite suit really of his. I really like that first suit, but I fucking love this one. This one's great. So the decision I and probably many others are going to have to make is, do you get rid of that tech suit, or do you keep it and have both of them, right? Space is limited for a lot of people. Optical, this is something I'm gonna have to struggle with. Are you gonna do the same? How many Tom Hollands do you think you'll have?
Shoot, man, I have so many. This is the exception to the rule, in my opinion, right?
Gotcha.
Like having multiple ones: Spider-Man, Batman, Iron Man. Like if you have multiples of those, because their suit kind of like gives you this kind of, you fool yourself. It's like, oh, it's a different function for this enemy. So Iron Man has to have, because I have like 4 Iron Mans, I have 3 Captain Americas, and there's more than Captain America, and I feel that excessive. With Spider-Man, you can kind of convince yourself that you need one or the other, because the suit kind of varies. So I don't know, man. I'm weak when it comes to Batman, Spider-Man, and Iron Man. I see a good one, not the black and gold. That one I would skip. Even, we'll go to the battling version as well. But this one is kind of like, oh man, it has all the vibings of classic suit.
Yeah,
beautiful. It has everything, and as the base. So I'm gonna get the base because I like the base where I could use it. Riley's watching for Batman. and have him standing on top of it. Like, it's generic enough that I could use it with different, for photography. But to some people who doesn't need it, hey, that's the good news. You have the option to 280.
Right.
I can't stress that enough. 280.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I would say optical is that base looks awful narrow, bro. So will Batman even be able to stand up there on it? I guess if you put him on the ledge or something, but like in that little area I'm looking at, I don't know if he's going to fit, Yeah. So, but it's still an amazing base. It's a really, really cool base. And yeah, maybe I'll pick up the base. I don't know. I'm definitely not pre-ordering it right now. I'm going to wait on it. I think they're going to make a lot of these probably. This is going to be a very popular figure. This is going to be super popular. People love the suit. It's very classic looking. Awesome film, great moment at the end. So I think this is probably the Spider-Man. I think as of now, this is probably the best Tom Holland Spider-Man that has ever been made. Like head sculpt, suit, the neck fixing, the base is pretty cool. So yeah, man, I think this is ultimately going to be a winner. Yeah. So if you need one Spider-Man as of now until the new films come out, this is probably the one.
Yep.
So, all right.